Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's the next dump? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Wait. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin, why you have to go and do that, man? Why? Elon, why you living, you ain't living right, man. You brought us all the way down here, but even worse, on Ethereum, you did the same thing here. You brought down Ethereum with your nonsense, man. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about this and more, and tell you how, actually, you know what? We saw this in the charts long before Elon just tweeted out, right? So this was happening with or without Elon, and we're going to show you guys how you could see this and how you can go ahead and predict whenever the market's going to dump on you. And yeah, it was pretty obvious, right? At this point, Elon's tweet was not going to make any change in the market, really, and I think he was just trolling us, right? But hey, that's what the billionaires do when they're bored. All right, well, we're gonna talk about how to trade the next move, what we're gonna do for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're also gonna talk about the news and how the fundamentals do not show up in the chart, and what you must do for going forward, and of course, how really negative this whole situation is. Unfortunately, I know you guys want to feel like the bull market is over or not over, and it's not over, but it's taking a pause, right? It's taking a pause. You're not gonna like it, but it is taking a pause, and we're gonna show you how do we look at that, and how to determine where it's going to go, what it's gonna do next, and how to best trade it. All right, so with that said, remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any money in the market, because you know what? I could be wrong, and do not exactly follow my trades unless you want to suffer the consequences when I'm wrong. So yeah, and I have been wrong quite a few times in the past. So take that with a grain of salt when you take any kind of trading advice. Okay, with that said, right, let's head over to the charts. Okay, well, as you can see, right, let's start off with Bitcoin, actually, before we go on to Ethereum. What's amazing, right, is that we dumped it down here and bounced, and I knew we were looking for a bounce last night, because I knew one was coming, right, because we went down too far too fast, and I could have traded it if I watched it all night long, because I can't. As you can see, right, let me show you how I was playing the play-by-play when we're doing the live stream. I was saying, okay, well, this is target here, most likely, and I wasn't too happy with it. I had to do a little bit more analysis, only because, it was just too close to where my original general target would be. And take a look. Right on the money, right? It just bounced right off on the target, right? It's crazy, eh? And it's found its feet right there, as you can see. Also, remember how I was trading this, and I wish I could go over all the different tools you can use to trade, but it's just, there's so much right out there that it will just confuse the majority of people. But these three candles there indicated that let me just block it off right here. Oops, delete, and hold the control key, and I'm just gonna circle right here. Oops, I'm gonna undo this. Okay. So these three candles right here, these three candles right there, these three white candles, right? They indicated a possible reversal in the market when we were talking in the live stream. And I said, well, even if we were right, if I was right, that's possible reversal, it would only take us up so far, and then we'd come back crashing down. And look at that. Right? I mean, this is called a fractal, right? Fractal pattern. And you see it everywhere in the market. And the worst fractal pattern, unfortunately, that we can see, that is so deadly, that is so scary, that you're going to have a heart attack if I show it to you. And unfortunately, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to scare the bejesus out of you. Absolute bejesus out of you. So the worst fractal pattern you can see is what's called an empire, because it's clear, fractal, there's no disputing it, and it generally follows through with its direction. And you can see on the monthly chart, we have three fractal candles, the three fractal candles right here, indicating extreme bearishness with extreme bias. And actually, this is called what's called an empire, because it looks like an Empire State Building, right? But basically, it's just a fractal pattern, candle pattern. No matter how this candle closes, pretty much, it's still a fractal candle, unless it's some sort of doji or something like that. But that's unlikely. So, with that said, right, this thing, right, can break down even further, all the way down to below the 13 EMA weekly. The 200 day, actually below the 200 day, if we head over to the dailies, right, and you take a look at the dailies. Let me just expand that, because I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the dailies. I'm like, oh, did you really have to do that, man? Did you really have to go there? And I think it's on this chart. Let's see if they have the dailies properly listed on this chart. No, I could have swore it was over here. Weird. Okay, there it is. Where's my 250-day moving average? I guess it's over here. Yeah, it is. There's my 365-day moving average. So if we go to the daily, right, and expand that, right, you can see that we could possibly go all the way to the 365-day moving average. Bitcoin, wow. Take a while, but this thing will move up, and yeah, probably closer to the $30,000 mark, but ouch. So this is a given, right? The move to the 200-day moving average is like, yeah, might as well like pencil it in, because it's coming. It's coming. And there's no ways around that. Absolutely none. So don't even think about it, right? Don't even think, oh, well, you know what? Because it's coming. There's going to be like maybe this rally is the actually it, but it's coming, where you're going to think, oh, ooh, rah, rah, bear, bull back, the bull's back. No, it's not. just get that out of your mind. Get your mind right. It's not coming. Right? Get your mind right. And let's talk about how we saw this coming, right? Well before the Elon Musk trade. I mean, what do we have here? Like, first off, right, up here, we're in a trend channel. We broke down, right? And instead of breaking up again, right, what did we do? We created an M, we broke that M, and off we went. Nothing you can do, right? That M clearly played out nicely, and that's all you can say, right, about this market, is that, hey, it's a bear market, right? It's doing, it's creating lower highs and higher and lower lows, and that's that. When it creates higher lows and lower lows, we're in a bear market. That's just the way it is. And the market's not going to turn until we make, what's that? Higher highs and lower lows. Higher lows. Right? We're not going to turn around, and that's going to take a lot of effort on the part of the bulls. And I don't think there's enough bulls right now, even though everything you read in the market that's going on is very bullish for Bitcoin, but it's irrelevant. That's only relevant. What you hear in the news is only relevant when you're buying this for the long term. So if you're buying this right now for the long term, if you bought it up at 65,000, 50,000, and you're holding it for the long term, take comfort. Take comfort in the news, right? Take comfort in the fundamental events that are going on, because they indicate that, hey, you know what? This thing is not stopping anytime soon. And even though we're going to see a short-term correction and a downwards direction, all that means is that you get an opportunity to buy more at a lower price. Now, does that mean you should sell here and buy back at a lower price? No. Why not? Well, because one, at any point in time, right, there could be a realization that, hey, this is not an asset that you want to give up by the majority of people. Odds are it's not going to happen, right? But you're taking a big gamble, right? And you don't even know. Let's just say it does go down, right? You don't know where the exact bottom is. I can tell you that generally we should be going to 30,000 in general terms, but it may not. And so you can't risk that. You can't risk having your Bitcoins basically taken away from you, right? Because you decided you wanted to be cheeky and get some more Bitcoin. Because, hey, you know what? It should be going down to 40,000 at least. 40,000, I could buy at 40,000. That's one way ticket to Rec City. Because, like, even if you are right and it does go to 40,000, right? Which some people do that. They go, okay, yeah, it's going to 40,000. I'm going to stick it. And what happens is it doesn't go all the way to 40,000. It bounces, right? Creates another higher high. And then you're like, yes, oh my God, I've screwed up. Let's just say you realize you screwed up, right? And it's going higher. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to buy it. You buy it in, and then boom. Yeah. That's a possibility. So please, do not, right, sell your Bitcoins, because you just can't, most people cannot handle, right, this kind of thing happening and be patient enough to hold it here, right, at the 40,000 level to buy back. So you just don't do that. Just don't. Hold your Bitcoins and let it go. Then just walk away. Because remember, right? Remember the story about my ex, right? So my ex, right? She got Bitcoins in 2016. She didn't have access to them through the bull market of 2017, right? And yeah, she didn't have to hang herself or anything like that, right? And I'm sure she's going through the, oh my God, I got to sell phase right now. I'm sure she is, right? But if you hang on to these things, right, another 5 years, right? If she just holds on to Bitcoins, you know how rich she's going to be if she just does that in the next 5 years? She won't have to work ever again in her life. But is she going to do that? I can bet all my fortune that she won't. I can bet it all. Because I know, you know how people are, right? And you can tell. If you are not committed, if you don't understand, she doesn't understand what she has, right? She doesn't understand Bitcoin. And even if she does understand it, and she does hold possession of it, I think she's going to lose her Bitcoins, only because she doesn't care about finance. It's the weirdest thing. The way she behaves with her finances is just ridiculous. So yeah. But anyways, enough about her, right? Yeah, we want to head over to Ethereum. And before we do, right, if you want to trade this, remember you can do so by heading over to bybit.davincij15.com, and you can also trade this as well. bybit.davincij15.com. Also, if you're missing this is the live show, you're missing out, man. You're missing out, because we have a lot of fun at the live show, and you can do so by heading over to www.davincij15.com to actually participate in the live show and gain access to Pandora's wallet for free. Okay, off to Ethereum. Sorry to interrupt in the middle of the stream, but head over to blockfi.com/davincij15 and you could earn $250, also 8.6% on your crypto. Of course, know your risks, and you'll be able to trade crypto over there. Also get access to a credit card, allow you to spend your crypto. Links are in the description below. Alrighty, I mean, I remember doing this and think, nah, eh, this is where it's going to, right? If we break here. And it's like clockwork, man. Clockwork. Right? You could have like bought this down here and look at that, like crazy. Because there's lots of resistance here, a lot of people, buyers down here to like give you a helping hand, right? To help you from like getting wrecked, right? It was such a perfect trade down there. It's not funny, right? So what are we doing right now? Well, as you can see, right, we bounced off of this trend line before we actually went into the resistance level. So if we could hold this trend line here, right, we could see a reversal on Ethereum, at least a little bit. Most likely to the 61.8, right? Let's just take a look at that. Let's see here. If we drag this over here, because we got a new low. And most likely to the 61.8. Yeah, there we go. Right up here, right? Possibly 78.6 as a hurrah, one more hurrah, but I doubt it. Most likely 61.8, and then we're gonna get flushed probably heavily. We'll see. If we get flushed heavily, that would project a crazier low for Ethereum. Wow. Now that I think about it, oof. If I'm correct on that, right? Because we're gonna have to wait and see, of course, right? Because it could just bounce a little bit to 38.2 and then bounce this and then down we go again, right? And then just to retest these levels and then fail around here and then bounce back up, right? Maybe we get the 200 period moving average, which is pretty much a given at this point. Not 100% sure on the Ethereum, but most likely. And then we'll see what it does from there. So this is. I'm not going to draw out that apocalyptic scenario until it actually draws out the rest of the candle. So I'm not going to panic everybody. Okay. So with that said, right, Ethereum, let's see what we can do on the lower time frame. Right now, it looks like we are heading back down, of course, checking it. If we break this level, of course, it's really simple, right? You can see right here at the $3,430. You can see that this thing can break down, and we can see it break down probably all the way down to, let's just draw it out. Okay, let's see here. There we go, right there. And then we can see it, yeah, the retest of the lower levels before we go higher. So with that said, you can probably do a Hail Mary trade on this. Hold Hail Mary long, but don't hold it that long, because she might bite you. And you buy the 78.6 stop loss at that wick, which is at the 3,123. And that's where you'd stop loss it. Okay. All right. So that is your Ethereum news. Unfortunately, that's not good. Let's head over to the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance is not down. We're not out, right? It could continue to drop, right? But we've bounced exactly at the 40% level, which I've been talking about for quite some time now. Won't be surprised if we chop sideways for a little while here, and if once we break the higher level, break down to this trend line, right? This complete sloping trend line, this ski slope, right? You can see this thing start to bounce a little bit, maybe even as high as 38.2, and head up to the this green downward trend line before we actually see it come back down. So what does that mean? We're not at the end of the bull cycle, not by a long shot. We're just taking a pause, right? What we're seeing here is a pause, and it's going to take probably a long time to play out, right? So don't expect this to to happen overnight, probably over the next several months. And then once we break down through the 35%, through the 40%, we go. The next stop target is the 35. Unfortunately, right? So we'll see that area as resistance from wherever we come back down from on the dominance. Oof, boy. Alrighty. Sorry to be a bearer of bad news, but I got people coming to me like Lee, who's putting together the news, and also the administrator of all our Telegram groups, along with OS. We were talking about. He was like, "Well, maybe it's going to go up and bounce higher," and I'm like, okay. I want to believe that just as much as you do. I want to believe that Bitcoin is just going to turn around here and go higher, and it's not like it's not possible. It's just not probable. Okay, it doesn't matter that all the news is great, right? We got like so super fundamentals. Let's take a look at some of the fundamentals that we have, right? And before I do, right, remember, right, if you want to join this group, right, again, you can, head over to DaVinci J. You could actually head over to my DaVinciJ15.com/token DaVinciJ15, purchase the token, 0.05 worth of the token, and you could also join the group and watch this videos for free. Also, I have free videos, so you just log in here and you can watch how to do the little lady strategy, because the little lady strategy is the next best way of trading. Next to if you're not a buyer, if you want to do something, you don't want to just buy and hold, that's the next trading level that I think you should do, other than day trading. So yeah, and you can do so if you head over to you can trade your crypto on different exchanges, and one of my favorite exchanges is, if we head over to Binance.DaVinciJ15.com, and you can trade there as well. Okay, well, so all the news that basically people are like telling us, and let me just open this up, and Coinbase Pro outflow, look at this. 10,000 coins, like just gone instantly. So people are not interested in selling, even though, the pressure is on for Bitcoin. That's just, there is the people who do buy, right, from the dips, they're taking the coins off, okay? There's not going to be a lot of coins, right, on the exchanges to sell to, but the people are afraid. People are afraid that those coins are tainted, thanks to the media blitz, thanks to Elon Musk. And because of that fair propaganda, right, it painted the chart clearly that we're headed down. And you could say, well, wait a second, if so many people are taking off their Bitcoins, why is the price headed down? Well, because there's not enough people actually wanting to buy, right? Let's just say you're holding your Bitcoins and you're not selling, and there's like let's just say there's 17 million people, right, and that are holding their Bitcoins and not interested in selling. And there's only those Bitcoins are not going to do anything to the price. They're not. The only Bitcoins that are going to be doing anything to the price, right? Let's just say I think there's like 19 million. There's the rest of the Bitcoins, like the 2 million that's left, right? So those 2 million, if they're available to sale, but there's not enough people to buy those 2 million Bitcoins, prices have to come down until they find those buyers. That's just the way it works. Okay, so I'm sorry to say that, but I know it sucks, but that's how it gets done. Okay. Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust Premium has just went negative, heavily. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see here. Is that May 21, and then what 20? Okay, May. So it started in March, and it's been climbing down ever since. Yeah, and when that's a sign that, you know what, people are losing interest in Bitcoin and buying and not buying. Now, it doesn't mean, right, that Bitcoin is dead. It doesn't mean that. All it means, right, is that there isn't enough people interested to buy than the people who are willing to sell, right? And that's what's happening here in the grayscale. There's more people selling than there are people buying. And so the premium has dropped down because they haven't sold their Bitcoins. Because the way they work, they haven't sold the Bitcoins that they do have on their balance sheet into the market, so that this is discounting their total holdings now that it's being traded below the value. So basically, you should go and buy this for a discount, right? I mean, for a discount with Bitcoins, you're getting at Bitcoins at minus 2% over on spot. So, and you know this is going to reverse, right? So once it does, right, you can get over 2%, 2.5% on your Bitcoins on the reversal. So a total of 5% over time, of course, in Bitcoin. So it might be worth it. Alrighty, let's head over to the IRS will seize your crypto assets on failure to pay taxes. Official. Okay, this is it. Okay. First off, right? You know the IRS cannot seize your Bitcoins if it's not on an exchange. Just so you know. So if you put your Bitcoins in a Trezor wallet, right? And if you want to buy a Trezor wallet, you can do so by heading over to Trezor.davincij15.com, right? And same with Ledger wallet, ledger.davincij15.com as well. Now, you can put your Bitcoins on that wallet and just, you know, say you lost it in a boating accident. Not saying that you should do that to avoid taxes, but, right? They can't seize it, right? They can't seize it. Then they have to by the way, IRS, can I ask you a question? What happened to innocent until proven guilty? That sounds like guilty until proven innocent, right? So when you freeze, when the government freezes bank accounts and stuff like that, that should be illegal. They should have to take you to court. They should have to go through court procedures before they can actually go ahead and touch your assets. But not in the land of the free. So much for the freedom of the land of the free. Oh my goodness. I was this close to becoming an American citizen, and I dodged a bullet. Whew. So happy. Alrighty, MicroStrategies adds 15 million Bitcoin at an average price of 55,000. You see, this is an example of buy and holder, man. Doesn't matter. Those Bitcoins are going to be worth an unimaginable amount, right? If I tried to tell you, right, you'd be like, nah, man, that's not possible. It is possible because Bitcoin is not something that is normal, or it's something like the electricity was back in the day when we first invented it. It's not something you can see, right? You can't see electricity. It's there, right? If you were to put two wires together, you would feel it, right? But you can't see it. You can't see it pass through the wire. You can't see it doing its thing, right? And making something light up, as for example, with the first use case for electricity. And that makes it harder for everybody to really understand what it is. And that's sad, right? And it takes like generations for people to really finally go, oh man, now I get it. Oh, I wish I understood that back then. Right? That just takes generations for that to happen. And it's like, Yeah, duh. It's money. They can't be taken from by other people, by like the government, or from thieves, unless they come and they come in and put a gun to your head, right? Which, you could always have multiple factor authentication, so no one can actually do that. It's very, very safe, right? Very safe system to hold your wealth. So in the future, people will be wondering, why didn't anybody explain that to me? Why? Yeah, we did. But no, you didn't. Yeah, we did. No, you guys were all crazy people. Yeah, because we were trying to point out how great it is, and you weren't listening. Oh man! All right, so this coin, I want to point out that this coin, Da Vinci coin, is not me. It's not mine. So just so you know, just wanted to point that out before we end the show. Okay. Well, we're gonna head off to the question and answer periods of today's show. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate everybody watching my show and watching the live stream from yesterday. It was an excellent live stream. 5,000 viewers. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Couldn't believe we made that kind of record of viewers at the same time in my live stream. I hope you guys learned something today. I hope you had some fun, and I'm looking forward to see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.